So here we have one of the most infamous symbols in history, and that's partly due to its mysterious nature. This is one of the symbols that has left many cryptographers and decipherers baffled. And the main reason they are baffled by it is due to its name. It is known as the square and compass logo, but it's actually not a compass, it's a sextant. And if you understand that, you understand exactly what you're going to be deciphering. Now, first of all, before we begin, I would like to tell you how Freemasonry originated, because there's a lot of secrecy surrounding the origins of Freemasonry. Within the 16th century, the Church outlawed, the Vatican outlawed sorcery and witchcraft among the general population. And so many sorcerers, conjurers, necromancers had to go underground and form brotherhoods in order to prolong their occultist activities. They could no longer practice the arcane arts in public because they would be killed for it. It was seen as a sin by the Church, because the Church wanted to harvest all of the occult power for themselves. A large conspiracy behind all of that. So organizations like the Freemasons were formed in order to pass down the secrets to future generations within a brotherhood. So this symbol here is very much related to those origins. So here is supposedly a compass. It's not a compass whatsoever. It's actually a sextant. So what is a sextant used for? Now, it's mainly used to measure the distance between the stars and the horizon. So you've got star. Now, star means astral projection, the alternate state of being that you go into either through deep meditation or ceremonial magic. And astral projection is what many Freemasons attempt to go into via their very strange rituals in order to communicate with various celestial deities. And from these deities they will receive information and they will bring it back to the mortal realms. So you've got the sextant here, which is used to measure the stars. And of course, Freemasons consider themselves to be the horizon welcoming the stars, which are the deities. And then at the side here, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 sort of rose-like flowery symbols. Now, if you're familiar with Mayan mythology, you'll be familiar with the 4 directions philosophy. The 4 directions for life and the 4 portals. And the 4 directions philosophy is based around summoning demonic entities of both light and dark, so from different perspectives, from different, both good and evil, and they summon them all into a ritual. So that's the 4 directions philosophy. Now, if you look here, you've got the G. There's a lot of controversy surrounding the G. What does the G stand for? People might have said it stood for God, or it stood for great. In actuality, it stands for green pearl. Within Lamatology, there is a concept known as the green pearl. You can see mine behind there glowing. That's the green pearl. It's a magical healing gem that was said to have cured a terrible epidemic within the French city of Calais many, many millions of years ago. And of course, if you're familiar with the stories surrounding Lamat, you know that him and his crew ventured over the Forbidden Zone. They crashed into the Forbidden Zone. They encountered the Mayan death god Ar-Puch, and they managed to find a dark pearl, which was known as the purple pearl. Again, it's the yin and yang of life. You've got the green pearl, the purple pearl, the black, the white arts, the black arts, etc. You have to have the balance of these arts, and all great sorcerers understand this. I myself am a white arts practitioner, so I know what I'm speaking about. So this G here does not stand for God or great, it stands for green pearl. Now if you actually look at this V shape here, it forms a V, it forms the letter V. You can quite visibly see that. Now V stands for Venus, the Mayan ascended master of Venus, which is known as Captain Lamat. As I mentioned earlier, the brightest star in the sky is Venus, which is visible from Earth. So Freemasons back then, and probably still are today, were the first astronauts, the first celestial astronauts. Through astral projection, they were able to project themselves out in order to explore the stars and come back with all sorts of obscure knowledge that most people wouldn't be able to have access to. So this is V for Venus, which is star, which points towards the sextant, which is used to measure the stars. It all connects if you judge it on that fundamental level. Then, of course, you've got the green pearl, the G for green pearl, and, of course, the 4 directions philosophy, which is, again, of Mayan origin. So here you have a photo of the Pope and Tony Blair, who of course is a terrible war criminal. Tony Blair is infamous for his terrible war crimes, which he should be punished for, but nevertheless, recently I exposed the Pope for being a very high-ranking Freemason. I believe he is a 33rd degree Freemason, which is the highest of them all, and I also exposed the Pope for being a black art sorcerer. Now you've got to understand that the way that these people communicate with each other is not through verbal language, it's through signs, hand signals, hand gestures, cryptography. They have to do it in secretism to continue the longevity of their arts. Otherwise, if people find out and it's too obvious, that's when danger will arise and they will most likely be taken over. Freemasonry is built and founded upon secrets, and of course every major world leader, every president, every political puppet is connected in some way to the Freemasons. And if you look at the black and white checkered floor of the Freemason lodges where the ceremonies take place, this is paying homage to the yin and yang philosophy like I spoke about earlier, where you can't have one art without the other, good without evil, light without shadow. There has to be both existing together, which forms the law of harmony. You have to have both of these principles together. And so the Freemasons are incredibly intelligent people. Of course, Freemason, the word Freemason comes from the stonemasons, and the word free comes from freedom from within. So the original Freemasons were builders, and they built many great structures, and of course they considered themselves to be above everyone else because they knew certain things that everyone else simply didn't know, because they would go into these alternate states of being, alternate states of consciousness to receive information from the gods. And there is the sextant that I referenced earlier in the video, and look how many stars you've got here as well. And the stars change shape. Do you see this? They tend to change shape. Now Freemasons consider themselves to be, as I said earlier, the horizon. They consider themselves to be the rising sun. And so the sextants will measure them, and then they will beam them up to the gods, which are the stars, the astrals, which comes from astral projection. So it really is all deep-rooted within the world of the occult. It's very magical. Freemasonry is not just a club for old men. It's not just a club for people who join and go through these strange brotherhoods. It really is a magician's club. So thank you for watching. I hope you've been inspired by this video. Please check out some of my other videos that I've done on various other occult activities. And please do not get a stigmatized view of the occult. As I've said many times before, it's not all bad. I'm a white arts practitioner. I practice good magic and good ceremonies. I am not one of these evil, manipulative beings from the astral realms. So I want you to understand that. Thank you for watching, and take care.